Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Centered Tarot. Welcome to Golden Girls Coffee Klatch with my wonderful co hosts, Shari, also known as Blanche, and Cleo, also known as Dorothy, and Val, also known as Rose. So, well, as I said, welcome to Golden Girls Coffee Klatch. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I mean, it's been
Not
such
a
a
thing
long
What's going on in the news? I don't know either. It's going to be
What happened today? What happened today? Wait. Was somebody found guilty? Oh my God.
oh my God. Who was found guilty? I didn't pay attention. I'm Rose.
Yes, Teresa, Darian, yeah. Slow news day. Yeah.
It was just such a thrill to have something happen that we saw it that way, but it seems like things get flipped all the time, and that they were going to come back. Maybe they do, half
Yes.
of them guilty, half of them not guilty. But no. This jury saw through the BS and honestly made their thing of guilty all the way around. So
Dr. Ann's in tomorrow. She's in New Zealand. It's already
Yeah. And
it's
she
tomorrow
says
where
it's
she
made,
is.
yeah, front page news all around the world. Of course it would. Of course it would. Because I think collectively the whole world has been watching and seeing the US going down the tube. And we're just waiting to, are the people going to wake up? Is something going to be done? And yes, something got
something
done.
is going to be done. July 11th is the sentencing day.
Yes.
It is, and that's going to be so exciting. I have to say, though, Teacher Barbara says she put a 34 for 445 sticker on her Fox News watching husband's truck. 34 for 45. You have to. That is,
yes, there you go. Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Absolutely.
So,
I know when Autumn from Black and Orange popped on live, and I saw on her header, verdict is going to be read in a few minutes, and I thought, oh my God! And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to her. She's playing MSNBC, and then Don Lemon has his own channel on YouTube that he does live streams from and stuff. So I had his stream up and running as well. And I'm thinking, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I felt like I did back in 2016 on election night.
Yeah.
With my stomach in knots as more and more things were ticking towards Trump. And I just had this sick feeling that, oh my God, they're going to actually do this. I can't believe they're going to actually elect this man president.
Yeah.
And then I was sick for days. I mean, it was like 3-4 days.
And even though Biden is president, I still have a little PTSD from that whole beginning of that era to now. It's still inside my body waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of stuff.
Exactly. Now, I feel exactly the same because, I was just so sure. And then when you look at it, yes, Hillary did get the vote. She should have won, but she didn't. And that was just, God, that was the worst day ever.
Oh, worst day ever. I thought, oh my God, we switched timelines. What the?
Yeah.
Where I woke up in the wrong.
It was like I jumped the shark, man. Where am I at now?
Yeah. I remember when I went to bed, she was ahead. And I thought, okay, all is as it should be. I woke up and turned on CNN, and it was Trump was elected. And yeah, it was like somebody punched me in the gut.
Yes.
And I started to cry.
Yes.
I went back to bed. I got under the covers and I thought, I can't believe this. I can't believe that the country has done this.
No, I couldn't believe it either.
Yeah. I couldn't either. I had the same reaction. Yeah.
I was
She got
physically
her,
ill for almost a week from it. It just was like, I can't
It
believe
sickened
this
you,
happened.
and you probably, it was like you couldn't take it in because it wasn't. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like a reality. Like we went into some Twilight Zone.
Exactly.
And
Well,
she has
it really
been
makes you doubt yourself because you knew that
Yes.
Hillary was going to get it. I mean, there was no question she was going to get it. And then-
Exactly, Cleo. Exactly. You
And
knew
so-
it. You knew she was the next president. It was going to
And
be.
we know now that she actually did win.
Yeah, she won.
They cheated,
She did.
and they managed to fudge votes
That
and
Yeah.
and whatnot, and elector counts, and so
Voting- the voting
Yeah.
machines too were doing funny things.
Yeah.
That was before all of the auditing and checking of voting machines. All electronic, and they were designed to flip back to whatever they wanted it to be. Obviously it was for.
she was right. She was absolutely right about everything she said about him.
Yeah.
She has been vindicated over and over and over again.
Well, and she's known the man for decades. I mean, because he used to be a Democrat. He used to show up at all their functions and stuff when Bill was running, when she was running for senator. I mean, so, not that they were friends, but they knew each other.
You know now that Trump was an illegitimate president. You also know that his slogan, "Make America Great Again," that was a fraudulent line in the first place. America always has been great.
Thank you.
And for Trump to just still be on that thing. But ever since now that this thing has come out and it's been proven that he's a liar and he still can't, accept responsibility for what he's done. There's now we have to watch the backlash of all these Republicans across the country that are going to support him, hell or high water. That's their presidential
It's already come out of our state legislator. Our state legislators are already making statements about it's a sad day in America that such a travesty has occurred. It's like, no, the man was built guilty and he finally got held accountable for it.
Exactly.
Grow a pair. I mean,
Lady Justice is standing with her scales evenly balanced. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's just great.
Great way to put it.
I just want to say, he can't pardon himself. It's a state thing, and he can't pardon himself. It's in the records. It's in history now that he's the first president to be found guilty of multiple felony charges.
I just kept asking for one. Just let him be guilty of one. That's all I kept asking for. Let them say he's guilty of one.
To artist Liz, thank you for joining us. Tracy Rivers, Karen Doyle. Hello, Karen. She says, party. Absolutely.
Party, yeah.
Roxy. Dr. Ann. Hello, Dr. Ann. With Rossi, Teresa Hedarian, Rose Blue. Hey, Rose Blue. We've got Kristen F., Amanda Carroll. Hello, Amanda Carroll. Anna Hutchinson, Lisa Niedermeyer, Linda H. Hello, Linda. Louise Fote. Hello, Louise. Who else? We've got Amanda Carrion. Hey, Amanda Carrion. Amanda, send me your email address. Okay, Anna Hutchinson. Teacher Barbara is here. Rossi. Connie B. Hello. And let me see. Tracy Rivers. Heavenly Blessed Honey. Hello. Mary Hernandez Walker. UCC Steve. Hey, Steve. See, if you turned your notifications on, then you knew I was coming live. Okay, Teacher Barbara. Tammy Aldridge. I think that's Clarence Fields.
Hugger Greeter.
Who?
Teresa Hugger Greeter. She's
here.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, getting to that.
Clarence
Fields. Yeah. Kathy G. Lorraine Orr. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that I get everyone. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Anya Ashdown is here. And Connie B.
A jolly good felon. Leave it to Rose Blue for the song, for he's not a jolly good felon.
Yes.
Rose Blue
Yes.
comes up with the musical songs for the event.
She's the one that sent me the link on the Ukrainian drones hitting
Perfect.
Russia.
Perfect. So, before we really get into this, and oh my gosh, let's take care of a little bit of business here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all the ladies' channels. All their information is in the description of the video, so you can just scroll down and see where their channel is. Go over, give them a like, share, subscribe. It helps us get our message out to more people when you do that. So, yeah, do that. Check out everyone's community page, Community CAFFs, because we post a lot of good information on there. Val with her classes, me with my courses, Cleo when she's doing things, same thing with Shari when she's got something up. So that's a good place to go and check things out. And when you do subscribe, make sure that you
Click the bell.
Click the little bell, because that will then let you know anytime that we go live, any of us. Okay, so you don't have to worry about catching a show. You'll get a notice half an hour before the show, and then usually, as the show starts, and you can decide if you're going to come and join us. And I hope that you do come and join us. So, alrighty, business out of the way. Let's get back to the good news. And thank you, artist Liz. That was very kind.
I thought Rachel Maddow was gonna have an accident in her britches.
I'm just laughing at the Mimi I saw earlier Diaper Dawn, the Felon Con.
I like it.
And Rose Blue saying Trump Tantic is thinking very fast.
Wait, I gotta write some of these down.
These people in the chat are just so good.
Incredible. Yeah, incredible. I think that I might have seen some of you, but
yeah. We should still point out that we have been doing readings and trying to let everybody know what was going to happen with this court case. And hey, we were absolutely right. And
hey, I think we're psychics.
Yes.
We must all be psychic. That's probably true. Yeah. And but all this back and forth, this one's been going on for a good year, if not a little bit longer. And it's just 45 is the new 34.
Perfect. 45 is the new 34. And orange is the new black. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe the ankle bracelet will be orange.
Yes. Yeah. Trumpster, he in his logic trial was a fart. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes, absolutely. I know when Trump came out of the courtroom and it was, this is a disgrace. Yeah. It was, a corrupt judge and they wouldn't let us change the venue and
Well, and he's
peers found him guilty, right?
He's an innocent man fighting for our country.
Yes.
He doesn't even believe in gold families. He doesn't believe in anybody going into the military. He doesn't defend our country.
He's fighting for the Constitution.
Yes, and he's fighting for the Constitution.
And he's ripping the Constitution apart in every way he can. I don't understand what the Federalist Society is doing with all of that, because if they are so constitutionalist prone, they are sure doing a bang up job having somebody come in and blow it completely up.
Exactly.
Explain that
Well,
one.
their goal is to make it like it was way back in the beginning when only rich white landowners
You
could
mean when
vote
we
or
only have
run for
15
office.
states in the union, or
Yeah.
come on.
Well, he did have a rally amongst the what it was the libertarians, or I think that's what they're called.
That was
And they
hilarious.
booed him,
Oh
booed
my
him,
God.
booed him, booed him, and I just
They
love
booed
it.
like crazy. They
Yeah.
booed him. I
And
mean, they
what
were
did he
like
say?
every second was booing.
And he doesn't even accept that. He says they're going to be voting for me.
Yeah. He just lies and lies and lies. And then he has everybody tweet, oh, Trump was at the blah, blah, blah. Wow. The crowds were wild. They were so happy. I saw some of these tweets that he had people make about the event, just lying.
And it turned out the event was from Obama running in 2008 in St. Louis, not even in the Bronx.
Somebody showed
The guy that tore it apart was like, we've all watched this.
Yeah.
Those are the arches in the background. That's not the Bronx. That's in St. Louis. And if you move the guy's head out of frame that's covering up part of the picture, you see Obama standing at the podium talking to everybody.
Trump's whole platform is keep telling them whatever you want them to believe.
Yes.
And finally, they will start mimicking and parroting you.
Yes.
That's what he does.
That's what George W. always said. You know, if you repeat it enough, everybody will believe it after a while.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Except the people who already smelled the coffee before they smelled the poo-poo.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but they're gonna, never go for that. Yeah, some of us never would drink that tea.
Yeah.
But
well, Amanda, Carol, and Rose Blue both had a
81
question.
States. Yeah, Laura Trump believes there's 81 states. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I bet they're leading in like 79 of them.
But the only thing that Trump said at the end when he talked to the press, when he came out of the courtroom, is he said the real verdict is going to be on November 5th by the people. That's the only honest statement he made, and he's absolutely right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be Biden all the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and with this is like the icing on the cake. This is like, oh hell yes, Biden again, and not Diaper Don, because do we really want? This is the GOP. Do we really want to have the face of our party be a convicted felon twice? Convicted felon? Rethinking, reprocessing that.
Because there are a lot of states that say if you're a felon, you can't vote, you can't run for office.
Exactly.
That's in their state constitutions.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, okay, but I did have a thought, and now it's kind of gone out of my head. So it's totally okay. What I thought that we might throw some cards down on, and I had one of the questions that I had asked my pendulum earlier today was, will there be riots? And I got no. And there was a comment earlier that someone wanted to know how will the here we go. Dr. Ann said, yeah, anyone worried about any weird repercussions from the opposition? Val and I kind of covered it during the messages show. I think that what it feels like is that there's a lot of people who are going to be doing screaming and yelling, and that's all they're going to be doing is screaming and yelling, and they're going to have a temper tantrum, and they're going to hold their breath until they, turn blue or pass out. But when it comes to actually doing something, no, they're not, because number one, a lot of these people can't afford the bus fare to get to New York, and entertainment purposes only. Number two, they have seen what happened on January 6th, and they have seen how Trump has been supportive of the people who supported him in the past. And what he's done is he's walked away from them. And they're sitting in jail right now. They've lost their families, their businesses, their livelihoods, and everything else. So no, they are not about to start gathering and saying, yeah, we're going to go, free our leader, because they're all talk and no action.
And they're a little burnt out, because you can tell from the Trump trial here that he didn't have a lot of gatherers there. Most people they've got kind of it's oversaturated. Life happens and you got to go on while that stuff is going on. They even, just like a normal person, get burnout. They're kind of dead to hear all of that. And when the verdict came out, and he's now saying all this stuff like he's going to have people come and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, and they're putting their head down, and they're like, yeah, I'm not so interested. No, they're not really, they're kind of going to drop out of sight and pull away, because
like
how
I said
long
earlier,
can you keep up that kind of thing? Trump is having his hand out right now asking for money. And these people are like, okay, twice convicted felon. I've been supporting him all this time, and now he even wants more money, down a bottomless pit. But look, it's somehow it's not going to be kosher for them to continue in their own mind, but they won't quite be able to put their finger on why. Maybe.
Exactly. Hey, Sheila, Inquisitive, how are you?
You're right about the funding, about the money.
Yes.
That started the instant that verdict came out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, everybody's talking about the money again. The problem is the Republican politicians are going to continue to support Trump and support the lie.
Yeah.
And this is really, it's really, although we're enjoying what has happened, it's really a sad state of affairs that we have so many people that are so entrenched in the lie that they can't seem to. I mean, this is the real test. This is so unusual to have this whole thing happening with a former president, and that the lies. What we're going to see is that everybody that has been supporting him has to look back and go, well, I wonder if I was lied to the whole time. And you were lied to the whole time. And that's going to be really hard for some people to accept. And as far as the Republican Party, they are in such dire straits that the whole party is, they think that the only way to save themselves is to continue to back up Trump, and and what they're saying is just so wrong. I mean, the Department of Justice does not make up cases. The judge does not side with somebody because they were a president or because they were a Republican or a Democrat. That has nothing to do with it. And that they're not looking at the whole picture of what he did. He tried to hide something that would make it so that it wouldn't affect his candidacy for president. And so we act, those people that voted for him believed him, and they actually had an illegitimate president, and they're going to have a really hard time accepting that. So it'll be interesting how this does play out in the end.
A lot of cognitive dissonance going on with that.
Yeah, and Sheila, Inquisitive Tarot, is right. The jury of his peers decided it. And there were even Trumpers on there for
exactly
all intents and purposes. So this was unanimous, and this was the jury's decision. But he'll always spin everything into whatever he wants it to be. He's always going to do that, probably till the day he is going to pass on to the great beyond. But so we can't expect anything different out of him. He's not going to all of a sudden be truthful, because that's
Well,
not
no,
who he
I
is.
don't expect anything out of him, but my concern is the other Republicans that just fall in place and just think they've got to support him 100% no matter what he does. They're not looking at it. They're looking at it emotionally. They're not looking at it logically, that, you know, this man committed some serious felonies, and it shows no
I think that
remorse.
I
I
agree.
think that
And
there's an awful lot of them that
it's a
that
fear.
they have they have been supporting him up until now. This conviction gives them an opportunity to walk it back a little bit and say,
Correct.
well, wait a minute.
I think there are a lot of them that
supported him and
are
whatnot, but
gonna
now
have
that
a
he's been convicted,
restless time sleeping tonight.
That-
There's going to be a lot of them that are not going to sleep well tonight because their thoughts going to be, "Oh my God, am I next?"
This is what I intuit, and that he has very few loyal followers. The Mike the Pillow guy is one, a loyal follower. The rest in politics are walking the party line. They don't want to not get party money. They don't want to be ostracized within the party because they like their salary, and they don't want to get, you know, kind of put out on this outside, not be in committees and all that good stuff. This is the power of that kind of person running who can control the party like that. Mike Johnson doesn't look at Trump like the second coming. Mike Johnson thinks he's the second coming. So for entertainment purposes only. So there's plenty of people in that party who are just vying for position, like MTG or whoever you might want to name. It isn't about the loyalty or love of a person at all. At all. There's a few. Mike the Pillow guy. He would walk across fire for Trump.
Yeah, he would.
But I mean, there are not that many.
He's bankrupt now, so
yeah. So there are not that many of that level, and I don't know. You might pick what's his name? Is it Johnson? What's
Kennedy?
No,
Jim Jordan.
I can see Jordan. Jim Jordan is exactly who I was just thinking of, who loves that dirty, low life kind of stuff. And he's just like, he doesn't really, it's not that he really agrees or knows, but he likes to be right out there. He likes to talk like that, and he likes to cause trouble to get his face out there. But of course, he's scared now that he's going to get in trouble. But the point of it is, there are the Jim Jordan ones. Jim Jordan is just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but Marjorie Taylor Greene's not afraid to be seen and cause trouble still.
Yeah.
So those are the other segment of his crowd. Nobody in there is going, oh, Trump's, he's the one. No.
There is an awful lot that have supported him, that over the last couple of years have kind of slowly backed away a little bit. And a lot of them were interviewed and asked, how would you're a Trump supporter, would you still support Trump if he is convicted of, any of these charges?
Yeah.
And a good majority said, no, I couldn't support him. I can't support a convicted felon. So it's like there's 50 people in a room. 10 of them are very, very loud and make a lot of noise and make a mess and, doo-doos in the corner and all that. Someone coming in would think that, oh, well, the whole room is like that. No, it's just 10 of them. The other 40 are very reasonable, okay people. I think that this is going to make a lot of them stand up and pay attention. Mm-hmm. There are those that no matter what he does are going to follow him because he has given them permission to express every little vile thing that they have ever thought. he has said it's okay to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Those people are going to follow him off the cliff.
And there are some people behind the scenes who are going to go, damn, Liz Cheney had it right all along.
Exactly.
There's a lot of those big, there's a lot of those big money
is not
people.
besmirched, and
Yeah.
you know, by
And,
this.
and there's
You
a
know.
lot of those big money people on their side that have backed way the hell off. They're not giving
Yes, they
any
have.
of the Republicans
other
any
thing.
money.
Sherry, people
Yes.
don't want to pour money down a rat hole that
No,
is never going to
Exactly.
produce anything for
No.
entertainment purposes only.
I mean, we're talking people that make serious money and make serious decisions around the world. And they're like, nope, took a bridge too far. It's time to back off this train.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. So, you know, they may not vote for Biden, but they're certainly not going to vote for Trump. And there's a good majority of them that are probably going to say, no, I'm not doing it, and are going to sit it out. In which case, it is more important than ever to get out there and vote. Stand in line, take people with you, but you got to get out there and vote. Even if come November 1st, the polls come out and everyone agrees that, you know, by 99.9%, you know, Biden is getting back in.
Yeah.
Go do your duty, still vote. Right? So
take a lesson from Louisiana. Everybody didn't think our new governor had a chance.
Yeah.
Because he was MAGA on steroids.
Yeah.
And nobody showed up to vote. They even held the vote on a Saturday so people could get there. Nobody showed up to vote. And that man walked away with it all.
Yeah.
And he's been dragging us down the drain since he got sworn in.
Just take that advice, everyone. Get out and vote. It's time.
Absolutely.
I don't even trust my ballot. I do the mail-in ballot. I walk it there to the voting place and I hand it to the person and watch it go in the box. I don't trust anyone. I don't want electronic. I want it on paper. And then it's emailed to me to say, we received your vote, blah, 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 blah. Yep. And then they tell me what I voted. So I know for sure they have it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
You're absolutely right, Sheila. Vote and vote early. Yeah. And Sheila's voting for Biden.
Yay.
Excellent. Perfect. Yes. There is. Yeah.
And if you go out and vote early, then on election day, check with the people in your neighborhood. There's probably people in your neighborhood that have no way to get to the polls. You know, they can't. They just don't have the means or the money, especially in poorer neighborhoods where they've tended to shut down polling places for them to go poll. And you know, they're supposed to travel 15 miles to go to the polling place over in a rich section of town. You know, there's nothing wrong with you offering people rides.
Mm-hmm.
I love
nothing at all.
That the Trump campaign donation page crashes after guilty plea. I don't know if it's crashing because money's coming in or if it's crashing because nobody's putting money into it. But you know,
no, people want refunds.
Yeah, I was going to say they may be wanting their money back.
Right? Oh, this is not good. It doesn't make sense to invest in a twice convicted felon.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
That's not much of a recommendation.
No, I was reading that his new doctor, because remember the old doctor he had that was, you know, he's gonna be
so healthy. He's healthier than a 20-year-old.
Yeah. Well, this new doctor that he has, which incidentally happens to have his offices in New Jersey, and he practices in New Jersey, which
and he probably
is just more than a few minutes away from Mar-a-Lago.
Golf at Bedminster, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And he said that, you know, he's lost about 30 pounds, and most of his testing and whatnot came back, and it was, within normal range. And he did really well on the cognitive test. Yeah. And I thought, oh, bullshit, he did.
Like, I mean, he thinks Obama is president. So
yes,
there's a little problem there.
Or Nikki Haley, depending on what day it is.
He thinks, he thinks Nikki Haley is Nancy Pelosi. So we've also got a problem with that.
So and it's incredible. So all righty, just to kind of change the pace a little bit, you got some news, Shari, about the Ukraine from
Rose Blue.
From Rose Blue.
You sent me a message today with a clip that evidently Ukraine now has several of the American drones, pilotless drones. Mm-hmm. And you could actually watch the video of these drones going in, because they got little cameras on them. And they went in and took out another Russian holding tank area where they store their oil. There's only one left now. They've already taken out two. And the video, when I watched the video, you could see these drones because they're having to fly over one of the oceans there, straits or whatever it is. And you can see the drone just above the water zipping along, because you're looking through its little windshield, and you can see these Russian helicopters trying to shoot it down, and they keep missing. They can't hit the damn thing. So I don't know if it's just their weaponry system is that bad, or their pilots that pull the trigger aren't that bad, but and they've got permission from the US now. Go in and do your worst. They've got the French showing up with some fresh pilots and jets to teach them how to fly those and cut them loose. So, countries around the world have just about had enough. And they're like, okay, it's time to be done with this, because, the good thing from it is NATO has been strengthened. We now have several more countries that have joined NATO that have always tried to stay, out of either side, tried to ride that middle of the road, that finally realized there is no middle of the road anymore. You're either this way or you're this way, and you're going to get shot if you're on the fence.
Oh, wow. Drone boats.
Two ships.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, she sent me a bunch of clips today, and I just haven't had time to go through them all. But the first one I saw was the drones hitting the tanker.
And these are Ukrainian soldiers are all trained up. Let me tell you, they tell them exactly how to use everything. And the Russian troops, half of them are brand new because, they killed off the other ones.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. So
they're yanking them out of middle school, and sending them over there.
Yes. And they have tremendously, they have no training on anything. You could tell that when they were coming in with their tanks in the beginning into Ukraine, and the tanks would stop and they couldn't get them moving again. Things were breaking. They ran out of gas. There were
video clips of Ukrainian farm girls that would go run up and hop in the tanks when the Russians got out to try to figure out what was going on, get them started and drive off with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, okay, you got a 16-year-old Ukrainian girl that can steal a Russian tank.
They had no training.
Up,
Yeah, the soldiers didn't know, they didn't know they were there for a war.
Yes.
No.
First of all, they weren't emotionally prepared for any of this. And they were shocked because, so, and now in Russia, all of the equipment that they're using to fight off these drones is not updated stuff. I don't care if the Chinese send them stuff or whatever. It's not, they aren't trained on it, and they don't know. It's not top.
Because you can't just take a piece of equipment like a ship or a tank and say, here's the instruction book.
Yeah.
Just go through it and you'll figure it out
in like half an hour or in even
Yeah.
3 months. They're not going to be ready, and they aren't trained up for any of that.
But what does
No.
it say about the mentality of just the people fighting? When this started out, 90% of the Ukrainian army were farmers.
Well,
They had never picked up a gun in their life except to go hunting for dinner.
That's an excellent
And
point.
they learned it like this.
That's an excellent point. And here, what's the motivation? Love of your country and knowing somebody is trying to come in and take it over.
Yeah,
the Russians have no motivation from the normal citizens who go, I don't want to fight my Ukrainian relatives. I don't want to fight people that my uncle lives there, or blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
I'm not prepared. They're not emotionally prepared to fight a battle they don't believe in. They don't need more land. They don't need the land that's here and there and everywhere. It's not.
That's why they were not told that they were going in to fight a war.
They were not told for that reason. And so here you go. The motivation is on the outside. Yeah.
Without supplies.
Exactly.
They didn't have, flak jackets. They didn't have helmets. They didn't have guns. They
did.
You're going over there.
So who's going to
They were told to bring their own supplies.
Yes, exactly. Isn't that and they were starving.
Yes.
And if you think back to the different wars you've heard about Russia and Stalin and all that, starving Russians, you heard that over and over. They don't give them the clothes they need. They don't give them the food they need. They don't do any of that for these kids that they send.
And you have in America the Republican Party that wants to hold up these Russians as the ultimate, the fantastic. We need to be just like them. But yet these are people that practice a form of communism that Americans here want to call socialism. It's two different types of government, but most people are too stupid to know and understand that.
Here's an example. I watch a family in Russia. It's a dad and mom and 2 kids. And I just watch them go to grocery stores and walk around the neighborhood and play with their kids and show about normal Russian life. They have had to move where they are to get away from the kind of stuff we're talking about, and being in fear of their lives and everything. And so what they can say and can't say, they can't say anything bad at all. Of course, it's on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel and they have millions of people watching them. But here's the thing. They don't want to get involved in any of this. They just want to survive and live with their family safely. That's all they want to buy organic food because all the food has pesticides, which you can point in every country to that kind of situation. They're just like all of us, the same.
Yeah. They just want to be, raise a family and.
Yeah.
That wasn't my point. The point I was trying to make is someone in his chat when he was doing a live said, oh, Russia, blah, blah, blah. It was a guy from the US. Oh, I want to move there so bad. You wouldn't believe the stuff that's going on here. I want to live in Russia and blah, blah. And you could see, he was like, he didn't touch that comment with a 10-foot pole. He loves America and he wants to come to America, and he learned English, and his wife learned English, and they're teaching their kids English. And so that person was like totally can't figure out that this guy isn't, like a Trumper, this Russian guy. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And it just, he really did not pay any attention to that guy in the chat. In fact, his face went kind of ashen, and he says, oh, he's probably, we don't want to attract these kind of people.
Exactly.
So,
as time goes by, you're going to see that because this war is so outdated, it doesn't make any sense to have a war like this. And in the Mideast as well, but the Mideast is a little bit different. They always like to keep a war going on somewhere there. But with Russia and Ukraine, It is so, the citizens of both countries have no desire. They're not participating in the war as far as like we have to do this because we need this land or something. They could care less. You're right, Val. They just want to live normal everyday lives. And I really think that's what's going to be happening in the future. I mean, when when Putin's gone, when Trump is gone, when some Netanyahu or whatever is gone, we're going to see a whole different group of people coming up and looking at this and going, why are we doing this? Why in the world are we doing this? It makes no sense. And I think that we are in a turning point where the whole world is going to change for the better. It's going to take a time, but really, this is what's happening. And the citizens of Russia, I feel sorry for them because they don't dare say that. They don't dare say, we don't want this. There's no freedom of speech there. And if they do say that, what everybody says, well, then they're going to get pushed out a window. I mean,
yes, yeah,
that's just horrible. And so, yeah, this war thing is going to change things. Even the Trump thing is going to eventually change the way people think. We're going to have to learn to think on our feet and not think about what everybody else is telling us and then just falling in line with that. It's just, that's not going to work anymore. And it never has worked, but
people are going to try.
yeah, I mean, the majority of the world wants peace. The majority of the world just wants to take care of their families and, do the best they can in this life. And they don't want war and they don't want to kill other people. And there's just, I really see that this is coming to a head. Like I said, we're talking maybe within 10 years. I don't know. Maybe that's a little too optimistic, but it's these steps that we're taking right now and that we're watching that will eventually change things for the whole world.
I don't.
Mankind
are seeing it and they're realizing that, me sending my child or me asking you to send your child to go fight for something that is an ideal that doesn't benefit all of us. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? If you have a problem with someone, go talk to them directly. You don't have to involve the rest of us. Val, are you frozen? I think Val.
She is.
Okay, she'll be back. So listen, while we wait for her to come back, Joe G says, I'm curious about how Hillary Clinton feels tonight. This was a conviction.
Probably vindicated.
Yeah, of election interference. And you know what? I think that, absolutely. She feels very much, very much vindicated. She was absolutely right about everything. Everything that she said about Trump has proven to be correct. So, hold on. And Lorraine, this is really good. She says, y'all, I think Jimmy Carter will pass any moment now. A few months ago, I saw a picture of him and I said, bless him. He's waiting for the conviction before he joins his lovely wife. I think, Lorraine, you're absolutely right on that. You're absolutely right on that, because I think that was his big thing, to hang in there just long enough to
I like what Rose said, just be under that. It was a prenup payout clause triggered today.
I believe so. There she is.
I am.
There she is.
Yay, she's back.
The internet. Oh my goodness. I was just going to say, I totally agree with Cleo. It's going to be around 10 years. I don't think it's going to be much longer than that we're going to see some really big changes and shifts and things in the way we think and do things. Because 10 years is really a long time in this sped up world we're having now. It's like 20 years and 10 years. So
well, and
there's a lot of
and look at all the ET interaction that has taken place in the last 20 years.
Exactly.
On a level that while people always knew and saw them, and most people believed and wasn't
Now,
quite
even
sure.
during that eclipse, they were everywhere in everybody's photos. So I agree, Shari.
Wow.
You know, it's
Rose
gonna be,
blue.
oh,
Oh, I'm sure he was.
what?
Yeah. Today
You know
was
damn well he was back
Joe
there.
Biden's death anniversary.
Oh.
Maybe he helped. I'm sure he did.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting.
I got
sure he
chills on
did.
that.
That's an
I
interesting.
mean, I got
yeah.
goosebumps up and down my arms.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, oh,
Bless Bo. You know he's doing all he can from the other side.
Absolutely.
man.
But just all the
Because, you
things
know,
we're
part of
going
what
through.
Joe did was Joe didn't run when Hillary ran because he was trying to help prep Bo to run, you know, and because that's who they had in their sights as being the next natural step up to go was Bo Biden. And
Yeah.
it just didn't work out that way.
Mhm.
You know.
So all the crazy things that we're going through, that we've been going through ever since 2016, is all it's something we're all going to learn from. And then that it is these kind of things and these wars and this ridiculous falling in line with somebody that is continually lying to us, where people start to use their own heads again and start to think about what they really want, and do they want this kind of bickering and name calling and all the stuff that Trump does that is just so negative and just brings down the whole country. And but we have to go through all this. We have to learn from this, and that is what's going to change things for the better in the end. So just know that all the goofy stuff is there for a reason, and it's to learn from. It's to learn to progress. We have to step back in order to grow.
Yes.
So maybe a couple step backwards, but in the end, we all grow, and we're going to get what we want. We're going to get a more peaceful
Hi,
world.
Gerald. And
Yeah.
Angela, yes, RBG is been steadily working from the other side, helping to expose the justices that lied to get on the court.
Yeah. And Tracy reminded me about Justice Alito. So we've got about 8 minutes left. So let's take a look at that. Now he has come out and said that no, he will not recuse himself because he didn't do anything wrong. This is something that Mrs. Alito did. And as a private citizen, under the First Amendment, she has a right to express your opinion. And she was the one who put the flag up at their home after an argument with a neighbor and so on. Well, the neighbors were interviewed, and they had actually called the police on Mrs. Alito and filed several police reports because she was being very vocal and very unkind and very unsupportive of their freedom of speech, their ability to be able to say what they wanted to say and express their First Amendment rights. So that was, she did the first flag and so on. When the second flag was on his New Jersey summer home, and again, he said no, that wasn't him, that was Mrs. Alito who did that. So twice he threw her under the bus. Now, my question and what I kind of want everyone to think about is, whenever you see pictures of SCOTUS, you see the American flag behind them. And that reminded me of the Pledge of Allegiance, because that's what you do. I pledge allegiance to the flag. And let me just make sure I get it. Yeah. I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, if he can stand up and say that flying the flag upside down is acceptable, and yet at the same time he stands behind the flag. You can't have the two. It's one or the other. You either pledge allegiance to the flag or you hold the flag upside down as a sign of a country in distress. So
it's also become a signifier for the white nationalist Christian movement.
Yes, and for the January 6th insurrectionists, and the pine flag is, but I think that's for some Christianity or heaven's flag or something along those lines.
Well, so clearly, this judge supports the facts that he believes the election was stolen, and
yes.
that I can't believe that judge is a judge on this court. I mean, it's just amazing to me. But there's a bunch of them. It is a kangaroo court, and we're talking about, again, I keep saying this, the highest court in the land. This is who we look to make the decisions that need to be made on a legal basis, not on an emotional basis. And he obviously believes that the election was stolen and that Trump should have been the president. And that whole premise is just amazing to me, that it's been proven over and over again that's not true. We all know it's not true, but here you've got somebody that's made it to the Supreme Court. He's got, he's a fairly intelligent person, and he totally believes in this. And that, and the thing with he absolutely should recuse himself. And
Absolutely.
I'm thinking, if they ask him to do that and he says no, what is the recourse?
I think I read somewhere that Merrick Garland can step in, and I think he can go to the other Supreme Court judges and get them to agree that he should be recused from the cases. I don't know if that is something that he can do legally, or if it's something that he can push through in terms of, listen, the rest of the kids don't want you on their team, so back off.
I hope he can do something. I don't know if he will, but it just
Roberts won't.
What we're seeing is just it's so much corruption. No wonder people can't get things straight.
Yes.
Well, you can't even depend on the Supreme Court, to be honest with you.
Yes. And it's very in your face. Their conviction and their ability to sidestep your First Amendment rights, your and any rights that you have, they can sidestep them, and they can impose their own will on what it is that they want, and you can't you can't question them. And there are a lot of things, I think, that are going to be changing once Biden is reelected, and things like term limits for Supreme Court, things like, if you're asked during your the vetting process, is X, Y, and Z, is that basically that's the law? If you lie, then you're automatically removed from the bench. There has to be that absolute faith that when you go to the highest court in the land, that you are going to get justice. You're not just going to get words and whatnot.
Well, when I threw cards on it and I got the levers, so he is in combination with a lot of the other judges, are receiving money in relationships we won't talk about, and the Two of Swords is next to that, and really it's about those ideas, that stuff that they're all touting, and the connection to that. But here's a shift a shift coming in the relationships, a shift in what's happening.
Yeah.
Here's some Queen of Swords coming in. When I
Mm.
saw her sword, I said, she is going to cut through all that. I don't know if this is another Supreme Court justice or someone from outside. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but this is who I saw coming in. What do I see here? 5 of Swords. He is really going to meet his match, because I asked specifically about him and this flag thing, and he is really going to have to step away and recuse himself. He really is. Here is the 5 of Cups walking away from that type of cases involving things like that. He's going to be a little bit hermity in his little hermit cave over this. It's going to shake him up. And he's going to look at what new money ventures he can create, because he's not going to have the same old alliances. And perhaps that's because the Trump thing is not working out the way. So the whole philosophy behind them isn't happening, because Amy Coney Barrett does not have the same exact type of philosophy. She's all in the organization of what is that organization that's traditional with the Constitution, the Federal
Heritage
Society, Federalist Society, and the Heritage, whatever. So she is really sticking to the laws of the Constitution, even though she's extremely conservative. So the rest of them, though, the Trumpers, are going to find that they're losing their pay relationships with others. So that's what these cards say. And internally, some woman is going to come, or woman or man, I don't know, but they have a sword that is going to be utilized. So that some kind of strength, some kind of knowledge is going to be used to carve that Alito stuff and set it aside. So that's going to happen. That's going to happen, whether we know it or see it. It will be happening.
Yeah, good point. Whether we know it or see it, will it be in the media or anything? It probably won't be.
No, I think this will be behind the scenes, and Alito's going to be shook up from it. But this whole Trump thing's going to shake him up. According to these cards, this whole thing is going to shake up relationships he has related to his money.
Wow.
So this is a whole big ball of wax, and it is related to money.
Totally.
Wow.
Money and his power, and who he sees himself as. Yeah.
And just to give you guys something else to think about, which I discovered today, much to my amazement, the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance that today is not the original Pledge of Allegiance.
No, that came out in the 40s, 50s.
The original version said, "I pledge allegiance to my flag and the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all." A lot of Trumpsters, indeed, even a lot of Republicans, like to talk about Christianity and God. They bring God into everything. Well, the words "under God" were added to the Pledge of Allegiance on February 12th, 1948. Prior to that, "under God" was not in the Pledge of Allegiance. So from
That's
the
because our
original,
founding fathers weren't Christians.
yes, yeah. So from the original to the one that it is now, which is, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So up until 1948, God wasn't in there. So, when someone says, oh yeah, we are a nation that was developed in Christianity. No, you weren't.
So,
no, you weren't.
And this was Francis Bellamy who came up with this. And Francis Bellamy was an American Christian socialist, Baptist minister, and author. So imagine this. It isn't exactly inclusive of atheists and anyone else who doesn't want to call their a being God or something like that. You have to say it really isn't. I don't have a problem with it because I'm on the side who believes in a creator. But for those who don't, it might be.
All our money says that. In God we trust.
It says it everywhere. In God we trust is everywhere on our money.
Now, here you go.
Marina, when she told me, I said, Marina, where did that God we trust?
And Cheryl Simpson has the answer.
Okay.
In God We Trust was first used on paper money in 1957 when it appeared on the $1 silver certificate,
and so,
according to Google.
We managed to live until 1957 without that on there. So the Freemasons who created our government, the Freemasons, didn't have that in there.
The humanists.
They didn't have it in there. So it was put in by Christian people, which is not all inclusive of everyone.
No, the United States of America was created according to the founding fathers. They wanted to base it on the law.
Yes.
Not on a Bible, not on a religion.
It's on the principle.
Not on any belief. It's on the principles of law. There is right and wrong.
The rule of law, not the rule of man's emotion or the rule of your whim or whatever. The rule of what you have written down. This is exactly it. And it's a beautiful system, although flawed in some ways. Look at what happened today. Now you want to say, yeah, our system worked.
Some days it works and some days it doesn't.
Which God are they referring to? Exactly.
Exactly. Well, exactly.
Which God?
Exactly.
Which God?
That the biblical Jesus or the Republican Jesus?
Why is it Jesus? Because God is God, though. And see, that's another subject.
Yeah, there you go.
Ladies, that's another subject.
We are 1 hour, 7 minutes. This has been so much fun. I know it has for me. And I'm sure those of you that are in the chat here with us, thank you for sticking in. I know that there was comments. You had conversations with each other, and I think that that's fantastic. And I
was trying to keep up with some of it, but
but good on you. So I'm grateful that you were here, and come back tomorrow. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, when Val and I and Allie will be doing Story in the Cards. And by tomorrow, we'll have a little more information on what was going on and a little more that we can dig into in terms of who said what and where. And
that's always hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. It's when we bring out the nasty card.
The naughty and nasty card.
Naughty and nasty. Yeah. So absolutely, by all means. And thank you, ladies, for a very lively discussion. And thank you for sharing this wonderful, glorious news with me. Today I feel like an honorary American.
You are by now. We've already accepted you in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right.
Because you
So-
certainly are better up on American politics and American
I
laws
got
than most
absolutely
Americans are.
100%.
I do my best. I do my best. All right. So you all take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, and come join us next time. Bye.
Bye.